The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared to respond whenever you need it.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
This is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, and our town on our field. Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England. All made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
This is David Genovese, founder of Corbin Cares. Corbin Cares Phase 2, in partnership with the Darien Foundation, was launched to support the people who support Darien. Corbin Cares partnered with the Darien Foundation to thank essential workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, EMTs, town employees, and postal workers who stepped up during the pandemic. Family meals for 4 were provided by 4 Forks, Bodega, Michael Joseph's, 1020 Post, and Parlor Pizza and Wine. Post 53 was treated to a tacos and waffles night with Bodega and the Waffle Cabin. Thanks to countless donors, 910 family dinners for 4 and 110 posties were served. And the Corbin Cares office was flooded with notes, emails, and letters of gratitude. Thanks to the essential workers and generous donors, you are all that make this community great.
We are DAF Media, Darien's hometown source for sports, arts, and entertainment, established in 2017. We Are Community, a volunteer-based organization that gives nearly 50 Darien High School students hands-on experience in video production. We Are Cutting Edge, A STEM initiative, students use cameras, computers, sound equipment, and innovative software. We are live, streaming 120 events per year on our YouTube channel. We are on the stage. We are at the big games. We are on the field. We are in the gym. We are on the move. Live streaming not only in Darien, but throughout southwestern Connecticut and the tri-state area. We are making a difference. We are DAF Media. This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
We welcome you to the Darien High School tennis courts on this Tuesday afternoon for varsity girls tennis between the 6-1 New Canaan Rams and the 8-0 Darien Blue Wave. Pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Braden Shank joined alongside me, our tennis expert Dave Donnelly. And Dave, a Darien New Canaan rivalry, it's always a good one. What do you think we're going to see today?
I think it's going to be a good matchup. You have the teams atop the FCIAC. A lot of strong players up and down the lineups. Just to correct you on one thing, I'm not sure I'm a tennis expert as much as someone who watches a lot of tennis, but I appreciate the...
I don't know. We did the boys game last week. You brought the insight to that one. Darien picking up the 4-3 win, but Darien and New Canaan today. We're now going to take a look at our big board and our matchups we're going to see on hand today. Over on singles 1 will be Lexi McCall and Lauren Zhang, and then on the singles 2, Sarah Donnelly for the Blue Wave will be going up against Lizzie Sigard, and 2 lefties in that one. Dave, how do you think that players are going to have to adjust to that matchup?
It's an unusual combination to see lefty-lefty. Both of them are fairly experienced. They probably, I'm sure they both come across lefties. So it's a little bit of an adjustment at the beginning. Obviously when you hit cross court and you're a lefty, you're typically finding your righty opponent's backhands, which many like to try and exploit. Typically people have stronger forehands. It might be a little bit of an adjustment, but I think they'll be able to. I don't think it's going to be a big factor in the match, but always interesting to see.
So that is once again Sarah Donnelly and Liza Sigard for New Canaan on the singles 2. And then singles 3, as you see on your screen, and singles 4, followed by all of our doubles matchups. Darien only one change in their lineup on that doubles 3, where Jessica Schmidt and Suki Mohan will be playing doubles 3 for the Blue Wave. I was talking with head coach Annalisa Brown and some issues with testing. Wanted to try some things out and giving a new duo a shot at the doubles 3 position. And Dave, do you think that New Canaan is going to pick up on that and try to bring some things out against more inexperienced players?
Well, it's doubles teams. The more they play, the better they typically get. I would give a little bit of an edge to New Canaan here because this is a Darien team that I don't think has played together. But, they're all good players, and, just like the lefty-lefty matchup, it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative, but it favors New Canaan.
And that will be Britton Olofsson and Christina Carr for New Canaan in that doubles 3 matchup. But a good slate of games on hand between Darien and New Canaan. The boys, of course, playing at New Canaan today in a good matchup. But we are here for the girls' side. And Darien, the perfect 8-0 on the season. They had a tough game against Staples, which I believe is still considered ongoing, if you will.
There is still a match. It's deadlocked 3-3, and there's one set to be played. First 2 sets in singles 2 took over 3 hours, and it was called due to darkness. So that is going to be a really fun matchup with a lot of spirit on both sides.
And that was a match that was supposed to be played last Tuesday, I believe, that they moved back to Friday, and now we'll be finishing it tomorrow, so a 3-day affair. And then finally will be a winner, and that one is Staples, another perennial powerhouse in the FCIAC, the only team to taken down New Canaan this year by a big 7-0 deficit. And if Darien can pick up a win there, that is a big competition that they would like to win.
And that's a little surprising. I mean, Staples has a really strong team, but New Canaan has a good team as well. So I was surprised to see that it was 7-love. But you have to play the matches and see where it goes. But you're looking at deep teams between Darien, New Canaan, Ludlow, West Hill, and did I mention New Canaan?
I think you did.
Okay. I think there's 5 that either have 1 or 2 losses.
Yeah, it's definitely something as we kind of move down into the FCIAC playoff season here in the next couple weeks, with May 12th being the final regular season game. So in about a week or 2 or so, we're going to start getting into that FCIAC tournament and the state tournament following it. Darien playing out of the class double L for the girls, not the single L as the boys do. So both these teams are in the double L, so potentially could be seeing each other in a state or FCIAC tournament. But you got to assume they're both looking for the regular season win for a regular season win first here today.
Absolutely.
And players are finishing up their warm-ups before we get underway in this one.
And last year, Darien and Staples were the only teams to go with 1 loss. Darien lost to Ludlow, and Staples lost to Darien. So they were seeded 1 and 2. Certainly, you expect to see New Canaan, up there in the seedings, and if they can find a way to win here today, they may capture the 2 seed behind Staples. So there's a lot lot riding on this matchup.
And of course, then you add on the fact that it is a rivalry game for both of these teams. Anytime it's Darien, New Canaan, regardless of the sport or circumstance, it's always a good match. And this one should not disappoint here today from Darien High School. And DAF Media is bringing you the live coverage of this one, the joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. As it looks like our first couple matches are just about ready to get underway.
I think this is the opening serve and singles 2.
So we're now taking you to our first look in on this one at the singles 2. Sarah Donnelly and Liza Seagard. Once again, 2 lefties in this one, not a common thing. Donnelly picks up the point there. It's interesting, you look at a player like Sarah Donnelly, her twin Will Donnelly, another lefty, and her brother Sam, a right-handed player, so an oddity there. But both Sarah and Will, great lefties and always throw off the game with their strokes, as now we see Liza with the serve.
Well, you bring up the lefty thing, and you mentioned Sarah's brother, who had a match where someone screamed out, "I hate playing lefties," which you don't often hear that in a match, but it does. You know, the spins go the opposite direction, and people often aren't used to it. You can, as a righty, you can go 15 matches in a row playing a righty, and then it's just different. So
it's almost like in a baseball game. You get to the 7th inning, a team brings the southpaw out of the bullpen, and
exactly.
You kind of have to get used to it. They are underway in this singles too, as a couple other matches getting started.
Liza's hitting with a lot of power on that forehand side, forcing Sarah to run down.
And a quick first game from them. Donnelly going up 1-love. And now we're going to take you over to singles 1 with McCall and Zhang.
And these are players who know each other pretty well. They both train the same facility, both really good players. You just saw Lauren hit a nice shot that died before Lexi could get to it.
And McCall, the junior for New Canaan, and Zhang, the freshman for Darien. So 2 players that potentially will be coming back for their respective programs next year, both potentially playing out of the singles 1. So we could see a rematch of that next year. That's getting in the future, as it will be McCall's serve. As you mentioned, they both play out of the Solaris Racket Club, which Darien boys head coach John DeFilippo playing a big role over there at Solaris, building a lot of great tennis athletes.
Absolutely. And John works both with the boys whom he coaches and the ladies as well. So he knows a lot of these players.
We are on this singles 1 match. Still in the opening game, as 3 out of our 5 matches have gotten underway. Still waiting on the 2 doubles to get started, but singles 1, 2, and 3 are underway. And once again, the format 7 matches today. First 1 to 4 would be our winner in this match between Darien and New Canaan. Save from Zhang. McCall now.
That's a nice shot from Lexi.
And Zhang tried to get it back over the net, just past her outreach, and that will be Canaan's Lexi McCall picking up the point as the opening game continues. McCall was a standout last season that led New Canaan all the way to the FCIAC semifinals, and she was actually an all-FCIAC first-teamer for singles, if you call it that, all-FCIAC singles. Now we're not sure what they call it for tennis, but the equivalent of an all-FCIAC first-teamer.
Mm-hmm. She won several matches in the state tournament, the individual tournament as well. She had a really good year last year.
A smart ball from Lexi there, just getting it up in the air, keeping it in play. Almost playing the defensive method. letting Lauren potentially make the slip up. And that one is called out. Still a good point over there at singles 1. And looks like the opening game over there is concluded. Now over to our third singles match between Emmeline Wang and Layla Zuia. Emmeline on the near side for Darien in the blue. Just wide on it. And Dave, in the boys match, we talked about Darien's new polo style of outfits. For the girls side, looks like they're going with more of the pullover look this year. Appears to be new. So yeah,
Yes.
raincoats. Definitely budget paying off for the girls and boys tennis teams this year.
And those are not standard issue. I believe those were the girls wanted the windbreakers.
Yeah. Got to look stylish out on the court. As Wang with the serve. Short one there. And picks up the ace. So we just couldn't get to it. It's actually...
Yeah, she was expecting more on that second serve, and Emmeline took a lot of pace off, and she had to reach for it.
It's actually a correction on the score there. Emmeline up 1-0 in the games. It's opening set. Good shot there, just out though.
Just out.
And now all the games appear to be started on it, so we'll take you to our quad box for the first time in this one. Up in the top left, you have the singles 1 between McCall and Zhang. In the top right, the singles 2 between Donnelly and Seagart. And then in the bottom left, the singles 3, Wang and Zoia. And then over in the bottom right, you have your singles 1 between Juliet Johnson, Catherine Rolap for Darien, and their matchup against Serena Platt and Julia Gertzen for New Canaan. Gertzen, the only senior on this New Canaan team this year. A very young team. 5 sophomores, 2 freshmen, 7 underclassmen, only 5 on the upper class for the Rams. So you got to assume the future is looking bright for head coach Walker and the squad.
Absolutely. It's already a good team, and it's just going to get better. And, you know, if you look at the New Canaan boys, that's a team, for example, that lost 2 critical seniors last year, and they're in a rebuilding phase. So they're, you know, I think they're going to, you know, like anything else, a lot of these teams are cyclical, but they're sort of in a rebuilding year. And, you know, this New Canaan squad is only going to get better.
That's something. It only takes that one freshman to walk into those doors that fall and take over that singles 1 spot and really transition any team. Because like you said, you lose a player or two, missing a position or two, and trying to fill it. Sometimes you just don't have the players. Other times you might.
Right. Exactly.
You know, you can name off some of the top players in the state, and a lot of them actually I think are underclassmen this year, both on the boys and girls side. So the senior classes have some talent in them, but a lot of the underclassmen stepping up. Again, staying in this quad box. The only other match that is going on over on court 5 is our doubles 2 match between Ava DeCastro and Grace Altoff for Darien, and Sophie Doshi and Claire Pellegrino of New Canaan. That matchup on court 5. Like I said, here are the other 4, only 5 courts at Darien High School, so the other 2 matches of Kavanagh and Karana and Schmidt, Mohan, Olefasan, Carr will have to wait until these ones conclude, which once the afternoon progresses, definitely some more momentum going for teams, more energy at this facility.
It's interesting because with the 5 courts, you end up playing the doubles 3 and the singles 4 once matches start ending. And with teams that are equally matched, sometimes those matches that start later can be the deciding match. And it takes a special kind of person to play singles 4 or doubles 3 when at times all the teams and everyone it's very different. Here it's, a handful of parents are watching and some of the teammates, but the tension can mount when you get a lot of cheering and focus on one match.
And it also gets interesting once you turn to more of the playoff setting where I believe they stop after a team hits 4, and kind of knowing that if you're in that second round of games, you might not necessarily even see the court that day.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, it's not a facility like Wilton over there where you can almost just drop your rackets when you know your team wins and pick up the play. It just looks like a couple other scores moving up. Darien with the 3-love leads in singles 2 and 3. Sarah Donnelly and Emmeline Wang picking up the early leads. But there are some good facilities in the FCIAC and around for tennis.
Absolutely.
And plus, you take the trip upstate to East Hartford, and you have the championship facility they have up there. A little bit of a hike, but a nice one, to say the least. Especially last year when you have Darien playing Wilton in a state championship.
Although they only played indoors at that facility because of the rain.
But once again, indoor facilities that not many places have around here, especially given this weather. A little bit colder today on what should be a spring day. Doesn't feel like it.
It's definitely some swirling winds too, and especially late, it can really pick up on these courts. So yet another thing that the singles 4 and doubles 3 needs to contend with.
4 matches still in progress here. Darien with the 1-love lead in singles 1, doubles 1, and it appears doubles 2, and then the 3-love lead in singles 2 and 3. So New Canaan just looking to pick up their first game of the afternoon.
Oh, it's a nice backhand rip winner from Emmeline.
Emmeline Wang, just the sophomore for Darien. Big part in Darien's success last year as a freshman. This year in her second year back for the varsity squad. You gotta assume she's got 2 more years on this Darien team after this one. Liza going cross court on it. Little drop shot, just getting it over. Again, matches going on here. And we're now taking you to the doubles 1 for the first time this afternoon, where currently Darien has the 2-1 lead. And his 2 Darien senior captains, Juliet Johnson and Catherine Rolap, playing in doubles 1. So the experience is definitely in favor of the Blue Wave in that one. But Gertson and Platt definitely an experienced doubles squad for New Canaan.
Yeah, that's going to be they both have a good game. There's a nice volley from Juliet at net, cutting off that return.
Rolap will be back to serve on the far side. Johnson was trying to get the drop ball over, can't get it.
Tough volley at her feet.
Rolap serving to the other box.
Went for it down the line, but looks like she just missed it.
They're staying with this doubles one, court number 3, or court number 4 at Darien. Rolap. That one's not coming back. Taking a little off that serve, and Johnson once again going for the short drop shot, can't get it.
A little bit out of her range, but it's a good thought.
Juliet Johnson, the All-FCIAC honorable mention last year. And Catherine Rolap back for her second year on varsity, captain for the Blue Wave this year. Johnson gets that one.
That's a nice, she cut that off nicely.
And that's something, once again, the double there, knowing each other, they have their backs, and a shot right there at the net. Johnson picking up and capitalizing for that doubles one team of Darien.
Well, it's always easier as a net person when you get a good first serve in. There's less that the opponents can do with it.
Rolap with the serve. Just out on it. So far, Darien with a couple early leads in these matches of 3-0 in all 3 of the singles matches. And on the doubles side, appears to be 3-0 on doubles 2, then 2-1 on this match you are watching right now between Rolap Johnson and Platt Gertson. Rolap once again with the serve.
And as a server, you really like the free points, either an ace or when the ball just doesn't come back. That always helps your day when you're getting as many free points as possible. It takes a lot of pressure off the other parts of your game.
And even your other counterpart on the court, your doubles partner, not having to do much on that one.
It's true.
Rolap trying to go to the backhand and just wide of the court. Rolap on the serve once again in this 4th game. And once again, picking up the ace for Catherine Rolap. Rolap, the team staple at doubles 1 this year, picked up some big wins for the team this season. Again, Rolap. Johnson out.
That's a nice volley by Juliet at net.
And looks like Darien is going to pick up that game, go up 3-1. Now we're going to take you back to singles 1. with Zhang and McCall. Zhang currently with the 3-love lead. McCall, the Canaan junior. Zhang, the freshman for Darien. And McCall went all the way to the singles semifinals last year in the Invitational. Fell to Amity's Kylie Picken, who I believe went on to win the whole thing for the singles last year. So definitely a talented singles player in McCall. And that was as a sophomore she did that.
Yes, yeah, she had a really good season. And that was, by the way, Lauren with a nice serve, an ace.
Zhang will stay with the serve. She's coming off a nice win against Greenwich, where she took down Diaz of the Cardinals 6-1, 6-love a couple matches ago. Currently up 3-love in this opening set.
As you can see, Lauren plays really good defense. She can run a lot down.
And that one is just out.
Just out.
The name of that game all afternoon has just been keeping it in play, letting the other one make the mistake. Zhang will serve once again. I believe Lauren, her brother Ethan, was on the Darien team last year.
He was. He a very strong player. He played singles 2, and he won the decisive match against Staples for the boys to win the FCIAC. A very dramatic moment. There you see Lexi just got under that ball.
I believe that's one of 2 Darien legacies, or I think 3 actually on this team. You have Donnelly, you have Zhang, and then DeCastro, the other one on this Darien team. Ava and her brother Alex, who graduated last year, now at Georgetown.
Alex played doubles 1 with Teddy Callery, and they also did well in the state individual invitational. I think they lost in the semis to the ultimate winner.
Of course, that's the thing. Come states time, it's a team tournament, and then it's off to the invitational for the singles and the doubles rounds.
Well, the boys and girls would tell you the invitational is great, but it's the team that everyone's focused on.
That's something that I believe is relatively new, the team competition within the last year or 2.
It is. That's a nice serve from Lexi. Lauren is tough because you can be playing your best tennis, and she's going to run a lot of what you got down. So as you can see, there have been some long points. Lexi's trying to go on the offensive, and Lauren gets everything back.
And that's
proverbial brick wall.
Just a freshman for Darien. Brings so much skill to this Blue Wave squad. That will be McCall's serve. Taking a little off it.
They're hitting the ball pretty hard here.
A little slice shot from Zhang, and beats McCall to the back.
Just a nice shot. Lexi was in good position, but it was a screaming shot.
And we're going to work to bring you the doubles 2 match, where it appears one side is up 5 games to love on it. It's not really in a direction towards one team, so someone is about to take up their first set in this one.
The score tower is right. It is 5-love New Canaan.
So the Rams would be looking to pick up a win over there on doubles 2. That's Doshi and Pellegrino for the Rams against DeCastro and Altoff for the Blue Wave. Off with a nice play at the net.
Nice follow. That one's going to go deep.
Darien will survive to see the next point in this one. Alternating serve once again, so it looks like they remaining in the game so far. There's the Canaan serve. It's also some other matches nearing the end of the first set. Sarah Donnelly, Emmeline Wang up 5-0 in their respective matches. We're gonna take you back to the quad box. As in the top right, bottom left, and bottom right, all of those 5-love.
There's a nice volley, cut across volley from Grace Altoff in doubles 2.
First set, always the important one in any match.
That's the interesting thing about tennis, is that if you're not playing good tennis in the first set, it resets. You know, you don't stay down in that set. So that's what makes tennis interesting. You don't play to win 12 games in one shot and you're up 8-1 and then you're cruising. You got to win another set. You start from love.
So it appears over on the doubles 2 side, Pellegrino and Doshi have taken the first set, so they are up 1-0. They will start the second set. Looks like right now on to Castro and Altoff. Once again, the top left is your singles 1, top right singles 2, bottom left singles 3, then the bottom right doubles 2. Taking you back to the singles 2 match. Donnelly and Seagart. Donnelly currently up 5-love in the first set.
You can see Liza Seagart is really hitting the ball hard.
We've been mentioning all broadcasts, 2 lefties going at it in this one. Donnelly going to the right hand to get that one over. And she will pick up the point there.
It's a good rally.
And it appears that will do it for.
No, that's
not quite it. Walking over to the score tower. Donnelly still looking to close out the first set.
it's 5:40, so Liza has a couple break points here.
There's Donnelly serve. Seagart going to that back line. And playing it off the net. Great recovery from Liza.
That's a good point.
And Donnelly just slamming the hammer on that one. Saw the open court, took advantage of it.
Still got another break point. She saves the break point.
They are preparing to alternate the serve on it, so Seagard picking up the last game, staying alive in the opening set. All the other
No, I think that was the first set. I think we had the score wrong. Again, it's hard to, we're trying to watch so many matches at the same time. It's hard to always know the score within a game unless you're focused on one match.
So Donnelly takes the first set in that singles 2 match.
We're going over to doubles 1.
3-3 the score in that one. So good match. New Canaan battling back after being down, I believe, 3-love, taking the last 3 from Platt and Gertzen. Serena Platt, one of New Canaan's squash players in the winter, translating that over to the tennis game. And Gertzen, the sole senior on this New Canaan team. Gertzen on the serve. Johnson just off the screen, turning it on the back.
That one just deep.
It also appears that Emmeline Wang took her first set, so she goes up 1-love. Gertzen. Now we're going to go to the other box to Johnson. And a deciding game here. Of course, 4-3, a big one for either team. Great hit from Platt there at the net once again. Serena Platt was trying her best to keep him in play.
Looks Darien goes up 4-3 in that match.
So a big win for Darien in that game. Now we're take you back
to singles 1.
Zhang and McCall. Score tower currently reading 4 games to 1 in favor of Zhang. McCall, the singles 1 for New Canaan, just looking to take this game and stay in the match, or stay in the set, really. McCall once again with the big shot. That one just a little too much on it. McCall to stay on the serve. Will be serving to the left of Zhang. Still in the opening set between McCall and Zhang.
As you can see, Lauren's such a strong player. Lexi's trying to be a little more aggressive and just missed that one. she knows if they get into these really long rallies, with Lauren's ability to mix defense and offense, just Lauren is tough.
And a big part is you also look at the fact that they really can't scout Lauren, just a freshman, not much film or tape on her up to this point. But you got to assume that's going to be a name that New Canaan and a lot of the other teams in the FCIAC will be familiar hearing in the upcoming years.
Oh, and that's a nice shot from Lexi.
Call on the serve on the far side in the black. Saying to return it in the blue on the near side. Taking a break over on singles 1. We're going to now transition over to
singles 3.
Wang and Zawahi. Had to find that one for a second on the singles 3. Where Rams currently this one 1-2 love in the second set after losing the first one 6-love.
And Emmeline just missed that one.
Layla Zawiya on the serve for the Rams. That's all but 2 of our matches in the second set now. Singles 1 and doubles 1, 2 exceptions. Still battling it out in the first. To receive the serve. Great shot.
Oh, that's a nice angle. That's a good idea just because she's hitting it right over the center where the net is lowest, just enough on it.
It was a good shot from her, pounding the server. And Zawiya, who just served it and had a ball coming right back to her, next thing she saw. Been a star-studded match all afternoon between these two at singles 3.
Unfortunately, that was had to stop the point. The ball came through.
Another thing that this Darien High School court kind of lacks in that facility almost, that these courts are very, very close to each other, and the ball falling off into another court, very common, stopping the play. Rams now on the second serve. So we have a sophomore for New Canaan. She's taken on the sophomore in Wang. So 2 underclassmen going at it at singles 3.
Just long.
When you look at the lines of these teams, they're singles 1, 2, and 3, all of which should be presumably returning next year for their respective squads. So a lot of good rivalries could be built over the next year or two.
Absolutely.
With McCall being the only junior of the 6, rest all sophomores. like doubles 2 over there, continuing to move the score 3-1 in favor of, I believe that's New Canaan, not exactly sure, however.
Looks like New Canaan is up a set and 3-1.
It's tough because it's not favored in the direction of one team, and I'm not sure if they've necessarily flipped it yet this match. Wang and Zuia. They're in the second set.
And looked like that serve was out. Going back to singles 1. We believe Lauren is trying to serve out the set.
This would be a big one in such an important singles 1 match. A great return from Zhang.
And a put away from Lexi. Very strong shot.
That's almost one of those instances of just showing no mercy, and your opponents just get it to trickle over the net and pounding it home.
Well, I was surprised Lauren got to the ball before that one. She made Lexi hit another shot and she executed on it, but
Will be Zhang's serve. Still in our first round of matches here on this Tuesday afternoon. Colin Zhang playing the long game.
Lexi's just, Lauren had that one just out. Lexi's really amping up her game.
Looks like McCall takes that most recent game, extending it to a 5-3 first set. And if you're Zhang, you just need to move on from that past one and keep it going. You need, knowing you just need one more to secure the first set. Call short, hops that one. Zhang just going a little long once again over on singles 1. Call on the serve. Singles 1 in a good battle over there, 5-3 in favor of Zhang still. And McCall has just been turning it on recently.
Like that shot just wide.
Still a good shot from Lexi, though, nonetheless. Looking for that line, didn't quite find it. And I'm glancing back over at that doubles 2 match, still trying to figure out the mystery of that one. 4-1 it's now reading, but no clue who that's in favor of.
Yeah, the angle is...
It's also funny the fact they don't flip it yet for any of the match or for any of the games. So someone is about to take doubles 2, not sure who. We'll flip over to that one before they conclude. Fly ball from Zhang into the woods. Any tennis fans here today might go seek that one out, go home with a nice souvenir.
Wind is picking up here.
And doubles 1, going to be an exciting one. 5-5, Darien tying it up. Still on Zhang and McCall.
Waiting for a ball that went into the woods to get retrieved.
It's probably a good time to give a shout out to our production crew this afternoon. Connor Fagan, our DAF Media Advisor, Damian Andrew, Braden Shank, and Dave Donnelly with you. So glad you could be with us on this Tuesday afternoon. The DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you this live coverage of varsity girls tennis on the DAF Media Network.
I guess they're trying to find out which ball it was.
It's some primetime television, though, nonetheless. Quick score updates from all the courts. In singles 1, Zhang leads McCall 5-3 in the first set. Seagard leading Donnelly 2-1 in the second set. Donnelly took the first set, so Seagard looking to potentially push it to a third if that one.
I believe it's 2-2.
Might be 2-2. Score table reading, or the score tower reading 2-1, but it's very well possible. Don't update those after every game, after every 2. But nonetheless, on singles 3, Wang taking the 2-1 lead on.
And it looks like in singles 2, yes, Sarah has gone up 3-2. I think in the last game, Liza might have had 2 double faults.
So definitely a big one for Sarah to pick up. Still on this singles 1, where Zhang is looking to put McCall away for the opening set. And that one's a great shot from McCall. Beautifully placed.
Lauren is frustrated. She's missed a couple of her last shots, but
Darien has gone up in that doubles 1 match, which we'll take you to in a second. That one nearing the end of their first set. As it appears over on doubles 2, that match has concluded. We will work to get you a winner in that one. And so the update, doubles 1 has 1 for Darien, 6-0.
Doubles 2.
Or doubles 2, yes. So Darien goes up 1-0 in this match over New Canaan. That was Grace Altoff and Ava DeCastro taking down Sophie Doshi and Pellegrino for the Rams. So Darien with the 1-love lead on New Canaan in this match. First 4. We're kind of guessing on that score of that match all afternoon. The tower not updating. Zhang with the good get. Call fighting in that one. I'm going to take over to the doubles 1. Darien with the 6-5 lead on the Rams in the first set. Johnson roll-lap against Platt and Gertson. So Darien's looking if they can win this game to pick up the first set. If not, potentially the set will continue. As the singles and doubles 1 still playing in the first set. Singles 2, doubles 1, or singles 2 and singles 3 playing in the second set. Darien with a 1-love lead in both of those. And then over on court 5, doubles 3 will start warming up. They'll get underway in about 10 minutes or so. That will be Jessica Schmidt and Suki Mohan for the Blue Wave, taking on Bryn Olafson and Christina Carr for the Rams. Once again on court 5 and doubles 3. We are on the doubles 2 between Donnelly and
this. I think we're on singles 3.
Oh. Yep, there we go. That's the right one. Camera's looking very much the same. This is now Sarah Donnelly and Liza Seagart. Donnelly leading 3-2 in the second set. It is Seagart serve. As over on doubles 2, they have tied it up at 6 apiece in the opening set. Both teams going to go back to their coaches, huddle up for a very entertaining final game in that one.
Nice, Liza.
It's unclear. They haven't changed the score. I think because they're both sitting on court 1 that the first set is over. If I had to guess that Lauren won that 6-4, but I'm not sure.
definitely will be interesting considering Lauren Zhang, I believe, was up 4 love or something and struggled to finish it out as McCall fought her way back in.
Yeah, Alexi put it into high gear and is really putting pressure on Lauren and ripping some winners, and she's playing really well.
Yeah, the first set went to Zhang, presumably 6-4. So that match will finally reach its second set. So now all but one of our matches in the second set. Doubles won, the one outlier, tied at 6-6.
We should move over to doubles 1, catch that tiebreaker.
This is Platt and Gertzen for the Rams against Johnson and Rolap for the Blue Wave. And their deciding game in the opening set.
That's where Juliet's going to be looking for a free point. She's got a nice serve. That's a nice shot at net from Catherine Rolap.
Johnson with the serve. Gertzen with the get. Nice job by Platt to get it back over.
Oh, that's a nice volley.
Serena Platt at the net, the junior for the Rams. Did a great job giving New Canaan the point. And Johnson trying to dig that one out. Can't, though. Back on the breaker between the doubles 1. An exciting match all afternoon so far in the opening set, and they still have another one to play.
Not sure where we are in the tiebreaker score.
I think they're even trying to count it out and figure it out themselves, the players. Rolap with the serve. Still in this tie break. They are switching sides. Gertzen and Platt are going to look potentially win this set for New Canaan. It'll be the first set they would take this afternoon. Darien with the commanding lead in all the matches so far. Leading 1-0, and 3 of them, and already taken the doubles 2 match. Serena Platt in the white sweatshirt, Gertzen in the black for New Canaan, and then for Darien on the near side in the blue. As Platt will serve for the Rams. The New Canaan doubles team that fell to Wilton a couple weeks ago. 7-6, 2-6, 7-6. So they're used to playing these marathons of games.
Oh, and Wilton has a good doubles 1 as well. So with an outcome like that, both these teams can play.
You got to assume at some point that stamina coming into play, having played those 3-set matches, and compared to a team like Darien that's used to winning these 2-setters and the 6 loves, 6 loves. Platt on the serve once again. This is the doubles one match. Very important one, especially for New Canaan, currently trailing 1 love in this match between these teams. Darien now on the serve. Platt with the return. Johnson taking a little off it. And just high. And that will...
That was the set point.
Does it for the opening set. New Canaan taking it on doubles 1 with Platt and Gertzen. 7-6, and the tiebreak going in favor of the Rams. Now we're going to take you back to singles 2 with Donnelly and Seagart.
I think Sarah's up 5-3 in the second set.
So Sarah Donnelly looking to take home Darien's second win of the afternoon if she can close out this set. And going right down the line with it, a great shot from Sarah Donnelly.
And Liza's had a little bit of trouble with her serve today, and she just went to get it in, and Sarah took it, capitalized on it, because she just put it in, and it was a short ball, and it was a nice play.
Donnelly unable to return that serve, so Seagart, my apologies, picking up point win on it. Good battle over in singles 2. Once again, Darien currently leading 1-2 love in this match. Doubles 2 going in favor of the Blue Wave. Great slice shot, but Donnelly returns it.
She's set up for 2 match points here. That was a great point. Liza came in on a bullet, and she was in the right position. Sarah just put a lot on it. It was just tough to handle.
Donnelly to return this serve for the match. Second serve. Pressure's on. Seagart. Gets it over Donnelly. Great shot from Liza. And Donnelly will take it. And she will take the match. 6 love, 6-3. As Darien will move up to love against the Rams.
Yeah, and that was, Liza played very well. Hit a lot of hard balls. That was a closer match than the score suggests.
So our second match in the books. Darien taking singles and doubles 2 now. And we're now taking you to our quad box with 3 matches being played right now. One about to get underway. Over on singles 1, Zhang with the 1-set-to-love lead over McCall. And then on court 3 with singles 3.
And we're gonna go back to singles 1.
Match that was exciting in the first set, should have an exciting conclusion on it.
But you saw late in that first set, Lauren got a little bit tight, and she was kind of, you could see the frustration. She's playing a lot looser now. She's just smiling, and go
right back to that shot of hers, the backhand.
But you see where Lexi's playing. Lexi's playing right on that baseline. She knows she's got to apply pressure, and that ball, oh, just out.
So call going in favor of the Rams. Will be Zhang's serve once again.
Over in doubles 1, Darien, after losing the first set, has taken a 1-love lead. So fighting back, that one could be a long one if they can come back and win the second.
It could indeed, and it was one that went to a tiebreaker in the opening set. Canaan took it. 2 veteran players for the Rams out there, and 2 even more veteran players for the Blue Wave.
And this is a long point. Lexi keeps getting it back. This is a great point.
And the rally continues.
Oh, Lauren with a backhand winner. That was one of the best points of the match.
Was indeed a long
wow
rally on it, slammed home by Lauren Zhang.
They were both in defense, and then they switched.
There's a reason that both of those players are playing in the singles 1 position,
Sure.
and they showed it right there. Still in for an exciting finish between Zhang and McCall. McCall once again going to the attack. Getting peppered with the shots from Zhang.
That's a high level of tennis that they're playing out there. Court 1.
Both of them trying to fight with it and stay in the match. Darien has a 2-love lead in this match over New Canaan. They took singles 2 and doubles 2 thanks to Sarah Donnelly and the doubles team of Ava DeCastro and Grace Altoff for the Blue Wave. Have the lead in a couple other matches. And our 7th and final match has started their warm-ups over on court 2. Zhang with the serve. Call with the gets.
Lexi with a forehand rip winner there.
This has been a battle all afternoon at singles 1. For good reason. Both teams really accomplished players. One of them just a freshman, the other a junior. Good serve from Lauren. I think that one might have just been out.
Just out.
But you look at the fundamentals on it. If she can just bring it over a bit, get it in the box, it is a filthy serve from her, one that any opposition is going to have a tough time returning. I think you mentioned, Dave, when Lauren's in the zone playing her game, it's tough for anyone to contend with her. So far been the story of first opening games in the set. Over to the singles 3 midway through their second set between Wang.
Nice serve.
And
from Emmeline. Took her way off the court there.
Read the score on, I think, 3-2 in favor of Wang.
Yes, that's what it looks like. If the score tower is correct.
But you never know at this level. And when we have a quick second here, we're now going to bring on a member of this Darien team, a junior, Remy Suffren. And Remy, if you've got a couple minutes, just talk to us about this team real quick. What do you guys have this year? You're playing really well so far, 8-0 on the season. What's been going well for the Blue Wave?
Yeah, so I think that one of the best parts of our team is that we're really close as like friends, and it starts with a collaboration of us on like, we play really hard in practice and it transfers really well into the games. Also, like, I think that towards the beginning we had to find our dynamic on hitting the balls with topspin and really getting into a groove there, but overall it's like the cheering's really helpful. I think that as a whole, it's just like, I think it's super fun because, not only because it's fun to play tennis in general, it's like a team sport, but also because the girls are so close. And yeah, I think it's just, that's just it. And the cheering is also great. Team collaboration's always bustling. So I think that, yeah, I think that's basically what I have to say about that.
And I remember you play on the doubles side, and we look over on doubles 1 right now. A good match is happening between Juliet Johnson, Catherine Rolap. They lost the first set. What's the mentality going into a second set, knowing you're down, trying to claw your way back into it?
So second set, after being down first set, it's always about clean slate and keeping up the energy, because normally if you're up first set, you're given like the advantage that you have a better mentality and you have more motivation going into it. But being able to not get into your head and just thinking about it as like a new score and going into it with determination and the yearning to, the passion to dominate. Look, she's looking at me. Juliet Johnson's the best. Juliet Johnson and Catherine Rolap are the best. They're so good. But it's always, you got to keep a positive mindset, can't get in your head, and that's basically, that's it.
And what do you have to say about the leadership that they bring?
The leadership, well, all I have to say is that they are such good leaders in that they're super approachable. They're so fun to talk to, and they're like so fun. Like, you just like, you get on the team and they're like, "Hi, I'm your captain," and you automatically like, you want to become friends with them. They're actually kind of intimidating once you see them. Like, they look so angry. Like, they look really mean, but once you get to know them and like you play tennis with them, they're so funny. Tennis is a big laughing sport. So it was great to get to know them that way. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Oh my God, sorry, that was so loud.
And now what about coming into this match here, knowing you have a team like New Canaan, you know, they have the good team, but just adding on to that, the rivalry these teams have. What has kind of the mindset been going into this past couple of weeks and really leading up to this match here today?
So leading up to this match, it's all about what we do in practice always has to transfer into how we play in the actual thing. So even doing matches where we pretend that we're going to play them, or we play like we're going to play them, we always think what's our strengths, we always think what's our weaknesses, and building on the weaknesses and helping get rid of those before the match. I think that's always really important. But I think just keeping a better mindset and realizing that no matter what happens, just keeping a better mindset, because win or lose, you want to be known for the team who has a good attitude the entire time. So I think that's always a good mindset.
Thank you, Remy, and thank you for your time coming on and speaking to this Blue Wave team. Got any final things to talk about the Blue Wave here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon?
On this beautiful Tuesday, I think that the main message is that Darien tennis is the best, and just gotta get out, hit some balls, just gonna kill it. I think it's great.
All right, thank you, Remy.
Thank you.
And it's always good to get the players on these broadcasts here, hear their point of views on the team and the season. And Dave, you kind of hear there the mentality that these players and the morality and just overall the teamwork that they build into it, the chemistry on and off the courts and translating.
What was interesting, one of the first things Remy said is this is a team sport, and most people don't think that way unless you play on a team and you realize, you have to depend on one another. And I also found it interesting that you said the captains were intimidating at first. Definitely, it's doubles one. You're going to face the best doubles team. It helps to have a little bit of a swagger.
Something you look on the opposition in this match right here. Julia Gertzen, the sole senior for New Canaan, playing in that one. That something you could look at just the numbers there. The fact that she brings the most veteranship for New Canaan and playing in such a big match like doubles one with a talented player in Serena Platt, who a junior, and assuming that she sticks with it for next year, will be an even talented player for the Rams. So you got two or four really talented players on that court, thus resulting in the good match we've seen so far this afternoon. 2-1 in favor of the Rams in the second set.
You see over on singles one, Lauren has gone up. Looks to be 3-love, but man, these are not easy games. She's really having to work.
That's one thing, is it's all about the grind and just keeping going, and it might take a while, but just fighting through. And
haven't seen too many of those. Lexi airmailed the backhand there, but she's been playing some really tight, good tennis. Not too many unforced errors, so it was just like, wow, I didn't expect to see her hit it out. She's just been hitting everything in and hard.
And this is a big one moving them potentially into a clinching situation for the match. And for New Canaan, it's really go time for them here. They got to start winning some sets and picking up some of these games if they want to potentially fight their way back in this match. If you look at a team like New Canaan and their remaining games, they've got Brian McMahon, Trumbull, Fairfield Ward, tough game against Ludlow, but then Norwalk West Hill, not the hardest of upcoming opponents. So you got to assume this is really the marquee game of their later half of the season.
And in the FCIAC, it's really a tale of there's the stronger teams, and the staples, New Canaan, Darien, Ludlow, West Hill, and when you're facing those top 5 or 6 teams, you really want to be playing your best tennis.
That's something we see a lot in the, especially the FCIAC, where you have those group of 4 or 5 teams that really are dominant, and then the rest of them kind of a dogfight for the middle class, if you will, on it. And you kind of get some mismatch, if you will, in the middle season games. But once you get 2 marquee teams like this, you definitely get a good match.
Yeah, and I think I'd throw Ridgefield into that mix as well. They've always had some pretty good teams.
It all starts with the talented seniors, the coaching, and really everything that goes into a program that makes a successful season. And Darien's found a winning formula for quite some time, and New Canaan had a good stretch too, where they were pretty much the team to beat in the FCIAC. I want to say I had it somewhere. They won I want to say 10 straight FCIAC titles from.
Yeah, they dominated in the 20-teens.
Yeah, the CIAC tournament, they took it from 2013 was their most recent, and they won it every year from 2004 to 2013. 9 straight state titles for the Rams.
That is not easy to do in any sport.
That's 9 of their 21 in their trophy case back at New Canaan High School.
And if you think about how many different people, high-performing players you need to keep that up, it's just an embarrassment of riches.
I mean, you're looking at 9 graduating classes, 9 incoming freshman classes, and just finding a winning formula. And the third-year head coach, Catherine Walker, she's trying to get them back to that success that they had. And Darien, the same thing. They're kind of on the ups. They were the FCIAC champions last year, and looking to repeat this year.
We're going to take it back to singles 3. If the score tower is right, it looks as though Emmeline is up 4 games to 3 for Darien in the second set.
This has been a back and forth second set, when the first one really was all Emmeline Wang for the Blue Wave and taking it 6-love.
And soon singles 4 is just getting underway now. We'll take you there in a moment.
So singles 4 underway, meaning all 7 matches now have started. 3 of them in the second set, 2 just getting started. So we're now entering the back half of this Tuesday tennis matchup. My apologies. If you're a lacrosse fan, though, some big lacrosse games coming up for Darien. Blue Wave against Brunswick on Thursday, the boys, then back in action against St. Anthony's on Saturday. But you're probably here to watch some tennis. So Darien and New Canaan.
Braden's always trying to get in that plug for upcoming events.
Well, that, and you got to recover the mistake of calling this tennis. Make it, seem intentional to plug it. But this is Wang and Zoea for Canaan. Good shot from Wang going to that corner.
Yeah, it was pretty deep.
It was a beautifully placed shot when you can find those corners and really execute them well. Now some eyes getting turned on to this singles 3 game, but mainly appearing to be on the far side on the doubles. One side with the 2-1 in favor of the Rams in the second set. And rushing on it was Zoea. Sun's starting to peek through the trees in this one. Pretty chilly afternoon. Definitely use some sunlight.
Yeah, the booth here is pretty well sweatshirted up.
Pretty much everyone here in attendance except the players are well suited up for the weather.
I am even seeing some winter hats in attendance. Some of the.
Thought I saw someone with gloves on earlier today. And our director, Connor Fagan, today, we thank him for coming out. Wearing the shorts, though. I'm not sure what that call was leaving the house today. He seems cold, but he's sticking in here, directing this stream for you, for the viewers at home, where you could be under a blanket or two watching this.
And we were a game behind. That was the match at singles 3. Emmeline looks like she won 6-3 in the second set.
Once again, we're trying our best on the scores, but that game has concluded. Wang, the winner for Darien, and moves that score to 3-love in favor of the Blue Wave in the team match score. Darien needing 1 more to clinch the match. Now we take you to our quad box. Top left, singles 1, where Zhang would potentially look to close it out and clinch this match for the Blue Wave, leading 5-love in the second set. So if Lauren can pick it up, she'll definitely go home happy, and Darien can be the victors in this one.
And as you'd expect, it's tight on the doubles 1-3. Darien is down 2-3 in the second set.
And that's what New Canaan potentially could be looking at, is not getting shut out today, trying to take one up. Also on doubles 2, Schmidt and Mohan leading 2-1 over Olafson Carr. We're now going to take you over to singles 1, with Darien potentially looking to clinch this match out with Zhang, and singles 1. Lexi McCall to serve for the Rams, the junior. Her second year at the varsity level. Didn't have a freshman season.
They are, Darien getting very close to clinching a win here.
All they need is this singles one match, one more game in favor of Zhang. If she can close it out, Darien will continue their unbeaten season at 9-0. And Canaan would drop to 8-2 on the season. Great get from Zhang.
And that'll do it.
So that is the match. Zhang will take it 6-4, 6-love for Darien, and that will clinch the match for the Blue Wave. 4-love, the score now moves to. So beautiful performance from Darien so far this afternoon. 3 matches still left to be played, but no impact on the outcome in it.
Well, and that doubles one match, therefore, if Darien can come back and win the second set, will likely be settled by a super breaker rather than a full third set.
That was something we saw in that Darien Staples game, the Dallas Aiden White doubles match, only playing that super breaker, just saving some time.
Well, at that point, with the match decided, it was getting around 7 o'clock and starting to get really cold. It just made sense.
It's getting cold and dark.
And dark, yes.
Kind of tough to play some tennis while it's almost pitch black out. Once again, your match score for Darien 4, New Canaan 0.
But they are on serve in doubles 1. Darien looking to tie it up in the second set at 3 games all.
So this is a match that started about 4 o'clock, now approaching the 2-hour mark in doubles 1. The other 2 matches going on, the singles 4 and the doubles 3 that started about 15-20 minutes ago. So they're relatively new on the court. Nonetheless, still matches to be played, and if you're just joining us, Darien has taken this match 4-love over New Canaan. Their wins, Grace Altoff, Ava DeCastro winning at doubles 2. On singles 1, Lauren Zhang taking down Lexi McCall. On singles 2, Sarah Donnelly taking down Liza Seagart. And then at singles 3, Emmeline Wang taking down Lila Zuia. Those are the 4 wins for Darien, and then currently playing the singles 4, doubles 3, and then the doubles 1.
Now it looks as though New Canaan broke in doubles 1. I believe they're up 4-2.
Big win there from Platt and Gertsen. You are watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture.
That's a nice shot down the line.
Of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation.
Darien needs to get back in this set, so.
Platt with a nice return and roll lap at the net. Johnson now going to take her swing at it. Darien 2 up at the net. Great point win.
Good exchange at net, a lot of back and forth. And Juliet got lucky, she popped that one up. I think for New Canaan, it was, where am I going to hit this? And just changed her mind at the last second.
You got that brick wall at net of Johnson and roll lap. It's kind of tough to get something over.
And the intimidation.
The skill and the intimidation, as Remy Suffren touched on a bit earlier. Said they were great people, nice players. A little intimidating at first, however. Still in this doubles one, 4-2 in favor of Platt Gertzen for the Rams. Great shot by Gertzen at the net.
And good get by Juliet.
Just floating it up, Gertzen going to swing and miss on it.
And that's one where you wish you're not being focused on. And that's a big break, ties it up. I'm sorry, I thought the score, they hadn't updated. Darien still down 3-4, but they are back on serve.
And you think that gives a duo or a doubles team an advantage being on the serve?
Well, I mean, you know, you're supposed to hold your serve more often than not, so certainly getting them back on serve helps keep them in this set. You certainly didn't want to go down 3-5. I'm sorry, 2-5.
It's Johnson and Rolap for the Blue Wave, two of their senior captains, as well as Cameron Cavana, who just started on doubles 4 on court 2. She's up against Annika Karana. And now we take you to that match.
And Braden, this is interesting because, you know, you were talking about lefties earlier, and Cameron doesn't neatly fit either righty or lefty. She is known to hit a forehand from both sides.
Wow.
Which you really don't see that.
We were talking about earlier the percentages of a lefty playing a lefty and a switch player, if you will.
It's like an ambidextrous. She doesn't do it often, but you will see it.
And she goes up 3-0 in this first set. It's almost like a switch hitter in baseball, if you will, but a switch tennis player.
It does exist. You do see it. Yeah, most people just work with their one dominant hand, but if you can do it, you're never hitting a backhand.
And that's something I feel like it's got to, help her in ways, but kind of put her at a disadvantage at others. The fact that she's always trying to maneuver herself and, try to always look for a forehand, but it's always tough for an opposition to try to return that knowing it's going to be a forehand.
Well, and I guess what's even more unique is that she fades in and out of it.
Wow. So really throwing off the competition.
You don't know what you're gonna see.
Big Barshi now leads 3-0 in the opening set.
I do not know anyone who serves with different hands, though.
Oh. So you're waiting to meet that one person.
I'm sure they exist.
Back to our doubles 1.
Right here, Julia, come on. Yep.
Serena Platt on the serve receive from Johnson. Cold.
It's interesting, as cold as it is, once you're out there playing some of these points, everyone starts taking all the sweatshirts off. And
it looks like over on court 1 we might see an exhibition doubles match. Looks like they might be gearing up for one over there. Darienne's Delaney Doss and Remy Suffren taking on, I believe if I saw it correct, Amy Mang and Avery Morawa for New Canaan. I believe. We are going to stay with the 7 matches, though, in this contest. Still pointing it out.
Hard one.
And that's something, Dave, do you think the coaches look at those extra time matches, just giving some experience to maybe some underclassmen players and getting some experience against the top tier team? Wow.
It's really important because, you know, these teams typically carry 14 players, and on any given day, you can only play 10. And especially if you're in a big streak where you're playing a lot of really strong teams, you want to make sure that, you know, you're getting, you know, your up and coming players some time on the court. So I think it's great they take the opportunity to do that.
For Darien, that doubles pairing of Doss and Suffren, their normal doubles 3 team, not getting the start today. So just getting them some reps, keeping them loose for their big games still upcoming this season. You look at Darien's upcoming schedule, they do still have some games, Richfield, Wilton, 2 of their bigger games, and St. Joseph, Stanford, Fairfield, Ward rounding out their remaining schedule.
And I believe Darien is down 3-5 here in doubles 1, so their backs are against the wall.
So New Canaan, if they can win this game, would take their first match of the afternoon, would avoid the shutout from the Blue Wave. It's again a match that started a little past 4 o'clock. Now approaching 5:50.
I don't know the score within this game, but I know New Canaan has a couple points here, so this is.
Good rally there. That one's just.
That was a big point for the Blue Wave.
Darien dodging.
Trying to get back into this game and then get back into the set.
That's something that's really a big deciding game for the Blue Wave. As you mentioned, their backs up against the wall. A must-win for Darien. And it does appear head coach of the Darien boys team, John DeFilippo, now in the building. So Darien over in New Canaan seems to have picked up a result. We'll try to get that for you. As we are in this doubles 1 match.
And that was it.
And New Canaan takes home doubles 1, 7-6 and 6-3. So New Canaan picks up their first match of the afternoon, making it a 4-1 match. And Dave, do you think that carries any motivation for a team when they might have already lost the match, but they still can pick up a win like that, especially at a doubles 1?
Absolutely. I mean, doubles 1 is, you know, they're typically strong players are put on doubles 1. You know, all these girls play. And, you know, they're all good. So they all want to win, and it's, you know, New Canaan would obviously love to come home with the win. They're not going to today, but, you know, every little, you know, win within the match helps and, you know, builds up some momentum for future matches. And I think if these two teams meet up again in the FCIACs, which may happen, certainly it helps to, you know, them to feel like, you know, we can win, you know, we have a good chance on this line and that line, and there are a lot of really good matches here today.
4-1 our score. Darien has already won the match today, but there is still 2 more left to be played. Cameron Cavana and Annika Karana on the singles 4 line, and then on doubles 3, it will be Schmidt and Mohan for Darien, and for the Rams, Bryn Olafson and Christina Carr. As you are taking a look at the Cameron Cavana Karana match.
And I have not seen the ambidextrous forehand yet.
Once again, 2 matches left to be played. The late starts on doubles 3 and doubles 3 and singles 4. And they are in the first set in doubles 3, or second set of doubles 3 and first set of the singles 4 match.
The other thing too, especially, you know, even if you're not going to win the day, but you win a match, sometimes players aren't playing well, or someone in an exhibition or in one of these later matches catches fire. It might get them into the rotation too.
And that's something you always look for coming into the later postseason games, looking for that outlier player and that X factor that a team might not be aware of, and finding that player. It's almost like having that secret weapon that a team doesn't know about until the postseason can come in handy, especially for a team that wants to make a state or FCIAC push.
I think in tennis, it's a little less likely than other sports because, you know, they practice and they play a lot of games. But there is something to be said. There are people who, strong players who, for whatever reason, don't play as well in matches, and they're just the reverse. People who might not be as good, but they're just they find ways to win.
Once again, you're watching this singles 4 match between Cameron Cavana and Annika Karana. The last singles match left to be played. They're still in the first set.
Cameron has a style. She doesn't, I mean, she's moving, she's working hard, but it just looks so relaxed. The way she's just got a very fluid swing.
And over on doubles 3, New Canaan took the first set and currently lead in the second set. 1-love. So that could be another big one if New Canaan potentially could come away with the second doubles win.
Just wondering, Braden, if the outdoor tent we have here has heat.
It does not, unfortunately. It'll protect us from the rain, but that's just about it. Maybe some snow if we get it in the middle of April, which you never know with this weather and how the month has been going.
Oh, this is a
great save.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those things. Yesterday we were streaming lacrosse and you would get showers here and there. It was 30 degrees at one point, windy, and then you get a day like Saturday where it's 70 degrees and sunny out. You never know with the southwestern Connecticut weather.
It's true. I saw some of the boys' team had some severe sunburns last week. And now you're talking more hypothermia.
As Cavana now will extend her lead to 5-love in the opening set against Karana.
And that was a tough last point for Annika Karana. She was ripping the backhand. She had several really strong shots. And Cameron played some great defense and somehow ran that ball down. And looked like she just got to it and it dribbled over the net. I mean, those are frustrating points.
Is indeed, but tennis is very much a mental game, and fighting through it, moving on to the next point. Now we are going to head over to doubles 3. Canaan currently up. And actually flipped. Canaan, I believe, won the opening set. Or at least that's what the scorers table, or scorers tower shows.
That looked like that one caught line in the back corner. It's hard to tell.
So Canaan, their sole win of the afternoon, coming on the doubles 1 line, in which Platt and Gerson picked up a big win against Johnson and Rolap. And And those are always the big ones to win, Dave, those singles ones, the double ones, especially when you throw out your best line and you just have the better stuff out there.
And as we talked about, I mean, the doubles three, it will not be a deciding match, but it could be. And as you say, you know, now we're focusing on the match, but Darien looks down in the match, and you know, these girls have not played together, so you know, and that you're not sure what your partner's going to do and what they can do, and it can catch you out of position.
This is Jessica Schmidt and Suki Mohan for the Blue Wave. Mohan, the sophomore, Schmidt, the junior for Darien, playing out of the doubles three, and they're going up against the sophomore Bryn Olafsson and the freshman, I believe, in Christina Carr, who are Carr normally plays out of the doubles three, played against Wilton at doubles two, won that 6-0, 6-love, 6-3, and Olafsson, the normal starter at doubles three for the Rams.
There's that clean slate again. I think it was a pretty lopsided first set win. Darien can build some games here and get back in this match. We might see a super breaker.
Of course, those super breakers, a saver in the longer matches and the time-consuming that it does. But as you mentioned, David, it would have been a deciding match. They would have played it out and determined the winner, and that you always know gets exciting if it's the seventh match of the day and it's the deciding one. Darien will be running into that situation tomorrow when they go to Staples in that 3-3 suspended match. I've got to ask, Dave, you've been a tennis fan for a while now. Is that the first time you've seen one of those 3-3 matches that they suspend and come back the next day to finish it out?
You know, I don't have a ton of experience in the FCIAC, but you'd have to think that sort of thing happens because some players, the way they play, just can routinely have an hour plus for one set, and especially when you're playing in April. You know, it's not uncommon. It depends on who's matching up. Not uncommon to have some really long matches. So, you know, it'd be better. Actually, I'm not even sure if one team had 1-4 and the other 2, if they would finish this one out. But you know, they obviously have to.
Yeah. That's something we saw on the boys team this year, that they played one match against Trumbull that they cut it off at 4-love. That's all the score shows on it. So you never know, and it'll definitely be exciting for the Blue Wave tomorrow as they would look to potentially pick up their 10th win on the season.
Well, and with Staples and Darien both undefeated and playing well, that one set could end up deciding the seeding in the FCIAC. That said, whether Darien or Staples or whoever is 1 or 2, I know Darien and Staples would prefer that they'd be on other sides of the FCIAC draw.
Got to assume that, especially the fact that you want to play in that FCIAC championship, not have to worry about meeting in a semifinal or even before that, which I don't think it would come to that, but a semifinal definitely possible for those teams.
But last year, the girls, the Darien girls won the FCIAC tennis. They beat Staples and Wilton. And then in the SEAC state tournament, they faced each other in the quarters, and Staples returned the favor.
That's something you always see, that the boys don't really get the chance to get those revenge because they're in the Class L, but the girls in the Class L sees a lot of the similar teams, with an exception of a St. Joe's or a smaller school, but it definitely adds to it playing a team 3 times potentially and getting a full 2-1 or a 2-1 series win for a team.
Exactly. That was a nice drop shot by Cameron.
Cameron Cavana, the 3rd senior captain for Darien, as well with Juliet Johnson and Catherine Rolap.
And Cameron played a lot of, I believe, doubles 1 last year, and is taking the singles 4 line this year, and has really had a good season.
Yeah, Cavana played doubles last year with Juliet Johnson on that doubles 1 line this year, the men's singles 4 player. And she's off to Cornell in the fall for academics. So very smart as well off the tennis court. Good shot from her. Karana to return. This one's still in the opening set, so they will play another one after this. Once again, a New Canaan team that is relatively young, only 1 senior graduating this year. So you've got to assume the Rams are going to be looking to return next year as a solid team and come back stronger, if not better, next year. Only having to replace 1 player on that doubles 1 team. But Davis, they showed a doubles 1 team that is a dangerous team for anyone to play, picking up a big win against Catherine Rolap and Juliet Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good team.
Coming out from Cavanna.
And as you saw in doubles 1, it came down to a couple points in that tiebreaker. New Canaan came away with it. The second set was New Canaan had it a little easier, but just a few points. That's tennis.
And that one just wide from Cavanna.
I haven't seen the ambidextrous forehand.
I bet she's saving it for a second set. Got to keep Karana on her toes.
It was evident in the last match.
Once again, you are watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Our production crew this afternoon, Connor Fagan and our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, Braden Shank and Dave Donnelly with you. So glad you could be with us on this Tuesday afternoon, wherever you may be. Hopefully staying warm somewhere, as it's kind of cold out here at Darien High School. But we are bringing you this live coverage. If only these tennis courts built a nice press box or something right here, air conditioning. Something to keep us warm for these 2 hours, but it's been a great tennis match between these arch rivals, Darien and New Canaan. As the sun is starting to make its way down for the night, 6 o'clock now on the East Coast. These tennis matches that start at 4, and you wonder, especially the early season ones, if they get done before the sunlight, before the daylight savings, because we saw that Staples match going 3 hours and maybe even longer if you get to a postseason match. As Cavanna has taken the first set over her opponent in Karana.
And Annika Karana has come back and took the first game of the second set.
So Karana quickly on the board. And then over on doubles number 3 on court 5, 2-2 in the second set. Set 1 went in favor of the Rams. Schmidt and Mohan taking on Olafsson and Carr over on court 5.
Looks like New Canaan has gone out to a 3-2 lead in that doubles 3 match.
That's a big one for New Canaan, especially it could get interesting if you look at a situation where Darien takes the first 4, but New Canaan surges back, takes the most recent 3, showing that this match really was a close one despite what the early matches showed.
Yeah, absolutely. That could happen here.
Especially when you look at the first 4 matches that finished were all really in favor of Darien, and their singles 1, singles 2, singles 3, and doubles 2 were all really taking pretty commanding wins over their New Canaan counterparts. And then you get into those doubles 1s and these matches right here where New Canaan is really hanging around. 4-1 currently our score on the afternoon. If you're just joining us, a quick recap. Lauren Zhang beat Lexi McCall at singles 1. Sarah Donnelly beat Liza Siegert at singles 2. Emmeline Wang beat beat Layla Zawia at singles 3. Singles 4 are currently happening, and then on the doubles side, Darien taking doubles 2 and New Canaan taking doubles 1. Was Castro and Althoff, the doubles 2 team for Darien that won, and Platt Gertsen for New Canaan that won that.
And just got the result of the boys matches. I don't know if you had announced that, but it was the Darien boys took the match 5-2.
Good game for the Darien boys team, taking the trip over to New Canaan High School, taking down the Rams. I believe Darien, there only 1 loss on the season to Greenwich a couple weeks ago.
That was a 3-4. That's one of those tight ones. And it all came down to singles 1 and a 3rd set match.
Who was playing singles 1 there? Was that Teddy, Sam?
Sam, and he played Dylan Atkinson.
If I remember correctly, on the Staples broadcast, you were hyping up Atkinson, giving him some things there, saying it was going to be a tough match, and you were right on with those predictions.
Dylan is a strong player. He's a very good number 1 for the Cardinals.
Is back on singles 4. Cavanna and Karana. These are the times you wish that Darien might have had 7 courts. The colder weather, these matches starting a little bit later.
That's a nice finish at net for Cameron.
That'll be Cameron Cavanna's serve after she ties this set up at 1.
That one was on the line.
Cavanna now back on the serve. He's serving to Karana in the second set.
Cameron has that backhand that she takes. I wouldn't call it a drop shot, but she just kind of puts it over the net. She's been having good success with it, except those last 2.
If something's working, you got to keep going with it.
But every action has a counter, and I'm noticing Annika's playing in a little bit more on some of these rallies, so she can't get beat by it.
We were talking about earlier that match Darien has to finish tomorrow against Staples. Those are the last 2 undefeated teams in the FCIAC. Darien 9-0 now. Staples, I think, 9-0. So one of those teams will go 10-0 on the season. The other one will drop to 9-1.
Just high drama.
And like I said, especially the fact that you're going out there for, I think, 1 set, if I'm correct.
Yeah, both teams, you're probably going to have the boys' team from Staples cheering on the girls' team. And interestingly, at that match on Friday, there's a very large number, a large crowd, a large gallery there. So there may be 100 plus people watching that one.
That was something we saw when the boys came to Darien last week. There was a big crowd on hand, and kind of that marquee boys tennis matchup of the season, the rematch of the FCIAC championship, and it definitely lived up to the expectation on the girls' side of it, doing the same, if not more, anticipation to it. The cancellation on the Tuesday, the play on the Friday, and then moving it back, or not the moving it back, but the suspended play. Those are definitely the matches that the team, when they get their schedule, is definitely, you got to assume, an easy circle for them and look out for. On the double side, 2-1 in favor of Karana.
Let's go back over. Yep. That's a nice volley.
Going to the ground on that one was the Rams.
It's an interesting camera angle. It's the only one that is at an angle and not directly on.
Got the 4 cameras set up today, using the 1 camera for courts 4 and 5. Swinging it around to see this doubles 3 matchup between Lofson Carr and Schmidt Mohan. Only the 4th tennis broadcast in the history of DAF Media. Something that we started last year, continuing this year, hope to do the same in the future and show off these great athletes at work here.
Well, I will say, Braden, that I was talking with someone who watched the boys matchup last week, and they said, oh, I can't wait to see every match. They said, well, that's not quite how it works. And as I've said before, it's just a massive amount of work to set this up. And hopefully over time they'll start doing a few more here and there, but it's nice to get it. I know last season there was a player on the Darien girls team whose family was unable to travel in a country with lockdown, and they were able to see their daughter play over DAF Media, and it really meant a lot to them. So you never know who's out there watching.
Those are always the heartfelt moments that you love hearing, the families, and you'll get texts from people watching from who knows where, just telling them and bringing the community together, watching these high school athletes at work. Last year we streamed the boys state quarterfinals, I want to say, against South Windsor, and then the girls quarterfinals in the FCIAC against Richfield. Both of the teams won their respective matches, and with Darien's win today, Blue Wave now go 4-0 whenever they're streamed on DAF Media.
Let's get them out there for any next time we face Staples. We got to have them there in Wilton.
Got to have the good luck. Maybe take the trip up to Wilton for the FCIAC championship. And something you always hear the athletes are, very grateful that we stream these events here. Something that not many, I think we're the only people out there in the FCIAC that do such things, streaming these tennis matches. And it's one of those sports that definitely has an audience to it. You just have to shine a light on it.
Well, I spoke with a father at Staples who said he reviewed the match, and they loved it. So just, it's not something it's very rare to have tennis videoed. And, it's interesting to see kind of what your opponent, after the fact, to see, had my opponent try to beat me, and what did I do right, and what do I need to work on? So
it would be interesting, though, just thinking in the future, potentially getting all the 5 matches at once, all of them streamed at once, and that's in the future, though. However, still got another match here we got to finish up today. As over on the doubles 3 side of things, we'll stick with that as New Canaan goes to 5-2 in the second set. They're going to look to close out the doubles 3 and pick up their second win on the afternoon. And
it looks like doubles 3. It is getting close for New Canaan to close that out. They're up now 5-3.
That would be another one, New Canaan showing off their doubles strength if they could potentially take home doubles 1 and doubles 3. Because the singles 1, 2, and 3 for Darien have shown they are dominant and not willing to give up anything.
One of the things we haven't talked about is what during the season, from the regular season to the FCIAC, oftentimes if a team has won 5-2 against you, teams try and mix it up, and they'll move people from a singles line that they field they're likely to lose because it's the same matchup that they lost last time, and they'll move them to doubles. And it doesn't always work because doubles is a different game. And if you've been playing singles all season, it's hard to just come out and play a good doubles team.
It's always part of the reason that goes into the coaching decisions for those state and FCIAC tournaments, trying your best to pick up a piece of hardware out of it. Maybe try to make the you gotta make the big make the big move for the big results.
Definitely, but in the States you can't do that.
Oh.
Because under the rules, you have to play 8 times at a position to qualify for the position. And as you know, there's 16 teams, so each team plays 15 times. So if you're playing singles 2 and you lost badly to another team singles 2 and you see them again, you say, oh, well, I'll move him down to doubles 3 because he's a strong player and we'll take that
state
line.
tournament.
You can't do it.
I was wondering that the other day when I was going up, for lineups before the game and the boys matchup, and almost not the secretive with them, but then you go to a state tournament game and they're much more open with them and you can find them. And I was wondering that. I did not know that, Dave. So you're informing me on something here.
Well, I mean, what the people at home don't see is that, Braden doesn't just show up and start talking. He's done a lot of research. He's got extensive stats of match results for all the players. And it's all that stuff that, the viewers don't see behind the scenes, but he does his homework. So. And the doubles 3, New Canaan comes to take that one 6-1, 6-3. So the match result is now 4-2 in favor of Darien.
So it's a win for New Canaan nonetheless, but the overall result still going to the Blue Wave. And now we're on to our final match of the day, the singles 4, Cavanna and Karana.
Cameron appears to be up 2-1 in the second set after winning the first set. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. She's down 1-2. Well, I'm not sure they've changed the scoring tower.
Yeah, good shot there from Cavanna. So this is on court 2. Over on court 1, we mentioned the exhibition going on. Has no impact on the match. 4-2. Darien, the victors in this one. It's just a matter if it's 5-2 or 4-3.
That's a nice shot from Cameron Cavanna.
And the crowd that we had earlier today starting to file out. Good crowd at the height of this one about an hour or two ago. Good shot cross court from Cavanna.
It's bustling. You see the cross country team.
I'm not sure if that's cross. I think it's a youth lacrosse, I want to say, but doing laps around the track.
Maybe they lost.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it wasn't not necessarily sprint worthy, running about a mile in the freezing cold. It's one way to get a team to win a match right there. Hey, when you talk about new additions to this Darien High School campus, you got to mention that new running trail that they brought on, I think, last year, 1.5 miles. And, of course, you come up to this section here, the brand new tennis courts that they installed 2 years ago and really redoing the old ones that kind of were in a desperate need for repair.
And I have seen people, as they're walking, they get caught up in some of the matches, and I have seen people stumble.
They're that breathtaking, these new courts, the blue on the, whatever you call them, lightish green. But 4-2, our score right now in the match. Cavanna going up 3-2 in the second set. Cavanna just needs 3 more games to close it out for Darien. And making the Blue Wave 2-0 on the day. In tennis, they went to New Canaan. The boys team took down the New Canaan boys 5-2, and the Darien girls will look to do the same here today. And just quickly looking ahead, New Canaan, they return in action tomorrow. They'll take a trip to Norwalk to play the Brian McMahon Senators. As for Darien, they are also back in action tomorrow. They will finish their matchup at Staples, and then Thursday they will go to Richfield to take on the Tigers for a 4 o'clock start. So 3 matches in 3 days for Darien. How do you think, Dave, that affects the team's stamina?
It's a good question. I mean, in season though, you know, with especially in the spring with the weather, you know, they will practice on the off days, but with it's common for one of the matches to get postponed, so that they once the season starts, there's not a big opportunity to do a lot of practicing. Although there will be the captains call some practices on the weekends. You know, I find, you know, within reason, the more you keep playing tennis, the better you play. So I don't think that's a big problem for either of these teams.
It's something you look at a sport like tennis. They started their season on April 11th, and in the span of just about 1 month, they play 15 matches. I mean, that's crazy to think about it over the 30-day span or so they have. That's a match every other day, and you take out the Sundays, and I mean, it's really crazy to think about it. And it's one of the only sports I can think of that they play that much. Normally, the teams have another week or two left in the regular season to get the extra game or two in.
It is a fairly compact season, and you know, you got to be ready for it. I mean, you know, if you start practicing, if you're not a year-round player and you start up in February, it's hard to kind of catch lightning in a bottle and come into the season fresh. I mean, when we talk about the, you know, lines 1 and 2 and in singles and doubles, virtually all the players are year-round players.
Especially in a sport like tennis where you can play those tournaments indoors and then outdoors in the summer. It's really one of the only sports that you kind of can play year-round and, you know, play a singles game, still develop out your game and not changing teams. And so kind of a unique thing. And then you get to the high school level playing on a team with a bunch of your schoolmates and the building that team atmosphere and playing and winning for or looking for a state championship.
It's funny, I was at a tournament and was talking to a college coach who was just coincidentally telling me he brought a player from Japan to play, and he had never played indoors, which he thought was very odd. And you know, they had done some tournaments. I mean, around here in the Northeast, if you're gonna play year-round, as many college teams do, you're playing indoors. So he just thought that was extremely odd. That he was just confused about, you know, wait, we're playing indoors, and it's something around here that, you know, if you want to play tennis at a high level, you're playing half the year indoors.
That's interesting, especially when you think at like on tennis at the Olympic level. You got to think, you know, Japan's usually one of those top teams at the Olympic level. It's definitely kind of bizarre to think about.
It certainly is. If you're around it, if you're around any sport enough, you're going to hear some odd stories.
Yeah. And especially, you know, if it's a coincidence like it's a California or West Coast where they don't really see rain, you kind of understand it. But the weather up in Japan is pretty similar to what we have here in Connecticut. So it's definitely crazy. But nonetheless, they still produce good Olympic teams year after year.
Absolutely.
As we're staying on this singles 4 match, the only match left to finish here today between Cameron Cavana and Annika Karana. Karana, the sophomore for New Canaan. It's her second year on varsity, and Cameron Cavana, the senior captain for the Blue Wave. And that one in the net from Karana, so an error on her part will result in the Cavana point. Karana on the serve. Cabana once again picking up the point on the error from Karana. So we are in the second set. 4-2 our match score. Once again, this match will have no impact on the overall team match. So Darien will win it regardless of the outcome. Just a matter of 4-3 or 5-2, and then for the individual players on their win-loss record. Just out from Cabana. This match now coming up on 2.5 hours between Darien and New Canaan.
Not this match, but the
overall. The overall team match, that is. That would be bizarre if this doubles or singles 4 match is up on 2.5 hours. Something that doubles 1 match, if they went to a third set and was a deciding match, could be coming up on that feat, the way they played the first 2. That's even crazy to think about when you watch it at the professional level, the men playing the 5 sets at the Wimbledon or whatever, and you look at it and you're like, how do they have the stamina for that, playing for that many hours? And that, I mean, the intensity that they bring to that, it's really bizarre. I mean, it's just crazy to think about in general. It takes an athlete to be out there at the Wimbledon.
Well, if you're playing at that level and you aren't in just peak physical condition, you're not going to last very long.
And then, of course, you got those stories of, I'm not sure, I'm not a big tennis fan, I don't know the match, but the one where they hit the time curfew, had to come back. I don't know how long the game lasted. I want to say it was Billie Jean King. Could be wrong on that, though.
Well,
Probably am wrong on it.
When I think of crazy long matches, there was a match, I can't remember who his opponent was, but John Isner, at the time the rules were you keep playing the 5th set until you win by 2. And Isner has a big serve, not as good of a return game. And I think it was 71-69. Wow. I mean, it was, I don't know how long the match was. They had to suspend it and play it again, but I think it was like 6 hours.
Wow. And that's one thing.
Probably more.
That's one thing. When you look at a tournament like the Wimbledon, they have that time curfew that cuts it off. I'm not sure what the exact time is, but it's definitely an oddity when you talk about sports in general, having to cut it off because of a curfew that was set before the match started.
Yeah.
Point there to Cabana. Still in this second set. It looks like they're going to update the score as Cabana goes up 5-2 on Karana. So it will be potentially the final game in this one if Cabana can close it out and give Darien the 5-2 victory over the New Canaan Rams. Cabana feeling it right now. Has won the last 2 games. Looking to make it a third and the final one. But they will switch sides. Cabana will now come on the near side. Karana on the far side. Cabana still wearing the long sleeves, probably for good reason. Wind starting to pick up. All Cabana needs is one more game, and she would pick up the victory in this singles 4 match.
In that match, John Isner, that was trying to figure on March 2 in 2010 at Wimbledon. Isner won it in 5 sets, but the 5th set was 70-68, and it was an 11-hour and 5-minute match.
Yeah, that's the match I was thinking of, the Wimbledon long game. They suspended it because of the time limit, or the curfew, rather. Sport of tennis, you always get those weird oddities.
And that's the kind of match where it's a Pyrrhic victory, because if you've been on the court for 11 hours to play a match, I don't think you're going to be fresh for the next round.
What was that? What did you say? Quarterfinal?
I'm not sure. Let's see.
Because that's got to be, I mean, good for your opponent in the next round. The fact that you know that your opponent was out of the court for 11 hours and might be a little tired from that still.
When you're the opponent and you go to bed and you wake up and you're the guy you're going to play is still playing,
Yeah.
it's probably going to give you a good feeling.
I mean, your opponent, that you're potentially looking at sleep deprived, tired, all sorts of other things.
The electronic scoreboard stopped working at 47-47.
Oh, that's a weird number to stop on, 47. Normally you'll see like a whole number or something, but that's interesting.
And it will likely never happen again, just because I know they've changed some of the rules.
So what's it now, the super breaker at some point?
I think some of them will get to a super breaker if you get to a certain score, and they're all different and they're all changing. So it's hard to say, but I don't think that's possible in any of the majors.
Definitely would be fun to watch if it could happen again. As Cavana just going right there to the backhand. Something we've been talking about all match, the ambidextrous swing. As now it will be Karana's serve. Cavana close to closing out this match. Backhand and called out. Right back to the serve from Karana. And that one just wide. Not sure about the score in this game.
Annika's been hitting pretty well. It's just Cameron is a backboard. She's just getting everything back. Keeps making Annika hit more shots.
Sometimes that's all it takes for a team.
Yeah.
Good shot. Another good return.
Cameron has some of those forehand and backhands that just kind of die over the net. Force the opponent to come in.
So Karana now serving to Cavana's left. All 6 matches concluded today have gone only 2 sets. This one so far heading to be 2 sets. If Cavana can just close out this game. Actually a pretty quick mile time for that girls lacrosse team out there. Coming right back up on the tennis court.
This might be a different team.
I don't know. It must have been a pretty big blowout then if they're on their second lap now.
I think it's a different group of girls. Maybe it's just the end of practice. Or
nonetheless, they are putting the work in. Shot from Karana to Cavana now on the rebuttal.
this may be match point.
So, potential match point for Cavana. And pick it up and serve it again is Karana. It's in and they'll play it. And into the net.
No.
Not quite yet. Match point. We'll do it again.
Now it's add out.
And the second serve will be ensuing from Karana. A must hit in situation. Good get from Cavanna. Shorter shot, still got just over the net. And that one will not clear the net.
That'll do it.
And Cavanna will take this match 6-love, 6-2, and that will be our final for the afternoon. Darien, the victors, 5-2 over the New Canaan Rams. And you're now going to take a look at all of the scores from today. Zhang, the winner for Darien, Donnelly winning, Wang, and Cavanna. They took all 4 of the singles matches, and then only 1 of the doubles with DeCastro and Althoff, and then doubles 1 and 3 going to the New Canaan Rams with Blatt, Gertzen, and Olafson Carr. But once again, you see your score: Darien 5, New Canaan 2. The Blue Wave go to 9-0 on the season. New Canaan 8-2. Dave, what were your final thoughts on this match?
Darien came out, did what they needed to do, played good tennis. They were strong in the first set in virtually all the matches. You know, well played. They were well prepared for today, and kind of took advantage of, as you said, a little bit of a, you know, a younger team. But I think you know, New Canaan showed a lot here and fought back even after they went down, you know, 4-0. So you know, Darien came out on top, but as good tennis, and you know, these teams may well see each other again, as I believe they did last season in the FCIAC.
So it will be interesting how it plays out. But once again, your final score: Darien 5, New Canaan 2. And I'm going to give one more final shout out to our production crew this afternoon: Connor Fagan and our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew. So far, our entire production crew: Dave Donnelly, saying so long from Darien High School. I've been Braden Shank, and we thank you for watching this production of the DAF Media Network. We'll see you next time.